Hello, Gary here from Pathways Homestead, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about a chainsaw. We're going to talk about a little bit of maintenance and tools you need, but also how to sharpen a chain, and that is been requested. Arizona Highland Homestead, Nick and Chuck with Life with Chuck and Belinda. They have both asked for a video on how to sharpen a chain, so that will be included in today's video. And first of all, we're going to look at this 455 Husqvarna 455 Rancher. This is kind of a larger saw, but it's not a big saw, but it is a larger saw. It's got a 20-inch bar on it, 3/8 chain, which I recommend if you're not running a little bitty trim saw that you run 3/8 chain. It just takes a better bite. You do need a saw that can run that. Let me say before we get into this, if you've not had any teaching on how to safely handle a saw, you need some instruction on how to safely handle a saw. A chainsaw is the most dangerous tool, hand tool created, as far as I'm concerned, that has been made. They are a very good tool, and homesteaders, you need to learn to use one, but learn to use one safely. So today we're going to look at a couple of things. First of all, let's talk about what's in my toolbox. This is the box that I keep with my chainsaw at all times. I've got some bar oil and some mixed gasoline. Chainsaws are 2-cycle engines. That means you mix the oil in the gas. I keep a small axe with me to just kind of get myself out of a jam if I need to. This coffee can has a tip greaser. It has a deal of chainsaw mix. That's the oil that goes in the gasoline. There's an extra scrunch and a couple of extra chains in there. This is a tip greaser that I got, and now I don't have a bar that needs it anymore. So I got a really nice new tip greaser in here, and I keep that in my deal. I also keep an old paintbrush. This is for wiping away, brushing away dirt and debris when I'm working on something, especially when I go to take like the get into the carburetor or the clean air breather. I use this. So I keep, it's just an old used paintbrush. I keep a few extra files, and I keep a couple of splitting wedges. I also use them as Allen wedges sometimes if I have to. You have to be careful using these because they're made out of steel and they will tear up a chain, but I use these for those things. And you might notice that this is just an old milk crate. It's a large milk crate. I've screwed a couple of pieces of wood in the corners and drilled some holes in them. I've got 2 files, and I've got my scrunch that I use. Just drilled in those holes, dropped right there. It's easy to find them, easy to get to. And so that keeps all my tools in one place. It's easy to grab my chainsaw and grab this and be ready to go. So when you use a chainsaw, every time you fill it up with gasoline, remember you're using mixed gas. This is the gas cap on my Husqvarna 455 Rancher. You fill that up, and you always fill up the bar oil every time you fill up with gasoline. Don't guess on whether you've got enough, just fill it up, cap it off every time, and that way you've got enough bar oil. The bar oil lubricates the chain as it goes around, and you will tear up a chain in a bar without enough bar oil. It's important that you use actual bar oil. It's engineered in a way that it sticks to the teeth and goes all the way around. Used motor oil will not do that. So you need to use actual bar oil. You can use about any brand. Some brands, if you're in really cold weather, some brands are a little thinner viscosity, so they'll move better in the cold weather. Some are a little thicker viscosity, and if you're cutting timber in down in Arkansas or something in a hot part of the world, and you're cutting timber and it's in the summer, you might want to use that heavier viscosity. But for the most part, they're about 30 weight, and pretty much bar oil is bar oil. I do recommend that you use the recommended 2-cycle oil that's recommended for your saw. That just, for one thing, if it's a newer saw and it's got a warranty, that's important. They can tell what oil's been run through it because it leaves a certain color on things. So we're going to look at the chain itself and how it works and how to maintenance this today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this cover off. We're going to make sure always make sure your safety lock is unlocked, and this one just unlocks like that. If it's locked and you pry that cover off there, you might not get it back on, and sometimes it's hard to unlock it without it on the chainsaw. And this is a scrinch. It's a screwdriver and a wrench. And that's for the spark plug, and that's for the bar. It's also sometimes just called a chainsaw tool. But alright, you can see how dirty that thing gets. I'm going to take the end of my screwdriver and knock all the extra out of there I can, all the big pieces. Then we're going to slide this chains and bar off. That's we are. We're going to knock all the big chunks of stuff out of here. This part right here, we need to try to keep that as clean as possible. That is the oil port to oil our chain. It runs into a hole on our bar and oils our chain. We're gonna take, this is what I keep the brush around for. And this doesn't have to be sparkling, you just need the bulk out of here. Doesn't have to be perfectly clean with no dirt at all, but definitely try to make sure you don't have any bits of stuff down in that. Okay. We're going to take this, kind of knock a bunch of that. This is the safety. This is what locks up your bar when this kickback, when it kicks back and it sets this safety off. This is the part that it actually works. You can see this gear here goes into that gear, and so it actuates this band and it locks up this clutch and keeps the chain from turning anymore. So you kind of got to make sure that stays somewhat cleaned out, or else it'll just bind up and cause friction here. Okay, and then I'll take the bar and I just kind of wipe off a lot of it. and I've got a trick. They make a tool to clean out the oil track on a chainsaw.
On the bar?
On the bar, yep. And so I just use my pocket knife. I come from the sprocket end, and you see all that coming out? We clean that out every so often.
Trying to get out of the shadow.
We clean that all out every so often so that our chainsaw oils properly. Make your saw cut faster, make your chain last longer. Turn it over, do the same thing. I don't do this every time I add oil, but I may do it every couple of pickup loads of wood. And then these ports are important. That's where the oil comes in from that oiler. So we make sure those are clean. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to clean this one out. Oh, that one's pretty plugged up. I was going to say it was on the bottom. It was not being used. So bars are, almost all chainsaw bars are made to where you can turn them over. There's not a top and a bottom to a bar. There's a chainsaw end and the far end, but they can be run like this or like this on your chainsaw. And they're made like that on purpose. Every so often, every chain or every couple of pickup loads of wood, if you'll turn your bar over on your chainsaw, it helps even out the wear on a bar, and that makes it last longer that way. So I've been running it upside down, so we're going to run it right side up this time. We put our bar on here all the way back and get the chain. Watch your teeth, make sure you've got your chain on correctly. The teeth always cut away from the top of the saw and to the bottom of the saw. So we're going to get that all kind of lined up. Make sure our teeth are in our sprocket. They are on our sprocket. We'll put our cover back on. Okay, now we got to make sure our tensioning peg is lined up, and it is not. So right here is our tension screw. We need to back our saw up, and see it slid down in there. You can tell it went down in there. So now we're going to put our bolts on. Nuts on, I guess, on our studs there.
Is there an order you need to run the nuts down?
No. I tend to run the back one down just because of habit, but just run them down and kind of get them snug. And then kind of back them up just a touch and see how loose our chain is. We're going to tighten up our chain right here. And we want to be able to pull it where we can just about see the teeth without having to pull too hard. I'm going to put just a bit more tension. Okay, this is a sprocket tip. This has a sprocket on the end of a bar, so we can run it fairly tight. I like to run it fairly tight. And that's a fairly tight chain right there. And now we're going to go ahead and snug it down. If you have a hard nose bar, my other saw that's not here right now runs a hard nose bar. you have to have your chain just a little bit looser. Okay. We're going to take this cover off and we're going to check the air breather. We're going to clean up and make sure it's clean. Some of the bigger commercial saws have a quick latch hatch here. This is kind of a medium, middle of the road saw, I guess. So here's our air breather. It's 455 Rancher. There's different ways. All breathers on different saws come off differently, but this has just got a spring. I just push it off, and then that should come right off, and it does. And we're just going to kind of clean things up a little bit here. Can you see all the dust coming out of it? If it gets bad, real bad, I will take it to my air compressor and blow that out.
You got some lining up to do back there?
Yes. And I'm not doing a very good job. There we go.
Get it over your arm here.
I got it.
Yeah. And put your keeper back up.
Snap that spring back in place. This cover, I kind of look, if there's a whole bunch of stuff built up in here, I'll clean it up, but that's not very bad. We'll put this all back where it goes, kind of get it to settle in place. Guys, I'm going to tell you that on taking this stuff apart on chainsaw, you could use an impact, but I don't recommend that. These metal alloys and the screws and the plastic, and it's cold. I use a hand screwdriver so you can feel everything that's going on, and you've got time to stop before things go wrong. If you feel something not threading right or something starting to strip a little bit, you won't get things too tight this way. Just use the screwdriver that's provided. Most saws come with a scrunch. If not, buy one when you buy your saw.
That fits your saw.
Yeah, that fits your saw. Husqvarna and John's Reds, they're pretty universal for each other. Steel's kind of got its own deal. They're kind of different. Echoes I haven't used a lot of, or Sax Dolmer or some of the other brands I haven't used a lot of, but a little bit. I think Echo's kind of like these saws.